Hey friends, what if I told you that something as small, fuzzy and overlooked as a kiwi might quietly be one of the most powerful allies for your gut health, your heart, and maybe even your longevity? Not a supplement, not a pharmaceutical, just a fruit. And I'm not talking about vague, it's healthy claims, I'm talking about real results. Observed in clinical trials, reinforced by decades of global research, and even being used in the treatment plans of actual patients by doctors like Dr. Trisha Pasricha, a Harvard-trained gastroenterologist. If this kind of deep dive into overlooked health truths interests you, do hit that subscribe button. It really helps us keep uncovering stories like this, because the question isn't just, are kiwis good for you? The real question is, why is something this effective not part of our daily diet already? Let's unravel it. Gut issues are epidemic level right now. From bloating to constipation, IBS to food intolerances, everyone knows someone struggling. And yet the average medical solution still revolves around pills, elimination diets, and vague advice to eat more fiber. But there's a fascinating body of evidence building around the green kiwi, yes, specifically green, and its ability to improve gut motility and even change how the digestive system functions. In a 2023 clinical trial published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology, patients with chronic constipation who ate just 2 green kiwis a day for 4 weeks reported better results than those using psyllium husk, the active ingredient in many fiber supplements. We're talking improved stool frequency, softer texture, and less bloating, with 0 side effects. What's going on here? Well, kiwi isn't just fiber-rich. It contains a unique enzyme called actinidin that breaks down protein in the stomach, helping the rest of the digestive system move faster and more smoothly. You might be wondering, is this just a gut thing? Not quite. In another clinical trial out of Taiwan, adults who ate 2-3 kiwis daily for 28 days saw a 15% drop in triglyceride levels, those dangerous fats in the blood that increase risk of heart disease and stroke. This isn't magic, it's metabolic science. Kiwis are packed with polyphenols, potassium, and soluble fiber, all of which help control lipid levels, reduce blood pressure, and fight inflammation. And perhaps most intriguing, the antioxidants in kiwi can actually protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation, one of the key triggers of artery hardening and cardiovascular events. By the way, if you've made it this far and you're enjoying this quiet unveiling of big truths, maybe consider subscribing. We're just getting to the part that really blew my mind. Here's where things get serious. Colon cancer rates are rising dramatically, especially among people under 50. The American Cancer Society recently updated its screening recommendations to start at 45 instead of 50. That's how fast it's increasing. And while lifestyle, stress, and processed diets play a role, there's a quiet push in nutritional science to examine protective foods, the kind that don't just prevent inflammation, but actively safeguard cellular health. Enter kiwi. In laboratory studies, kiwi extract has shown the ability to inhibit the growth of colon cancer cells, thanks to compounds like quercetin, lutein, and chlorogenic acid. These act as antioxidants and anti-mutagenic agents, essentially helping your cells repair DNA damage before it spirals into cancer. Now, to be clear, no food is a shield, but this isn't theory. Dr. Trisha Pasricha, in her Washington Post column, wrote about recommending kiwi not just to patients, but also to her own family. Why? Because of what she's seen: improved gut health, lower triglycerides, more regular bowel habits, and possibly, a lowered risk of chronic disease. That brings us to something I want to ask you. Have you or someone you know ever experienced real health improvements from a small dietary change? Something that seemed almost too simple to work? Drop your story in the comments. We read every one. Kiwi is native to China and widely cultivated in New Zealand, where it's often seen as a national fruit. But in the US, it's still relatively underconsumed, often dismissed as exotic, expensive, or just weird-looking. But it's becoming more available, more affordable, and more powerful, especially now that clinical evidence is stacking up behind it. In India and China, where traditional medicine often emphasized gut health as the root of all health, kiwi has seen a major uptick in demand, especially in the wellness cities of the South and East. And here on Mr. America, we dive deep into stories like this. Stories that mainstream media tends to gloss over in favor of trendier superfoods or pharma-backed solutions. But the truth is, sometimes the answer is in the produce aisle. So here's the takeaway I hope you carry with you today. Something as small as a kiwi, just 2 a day, might not just make you feel better, it might be changing things inside you, long before you see or feel the difference. And in a world overwhelmed with complicated fixes, Maybe what we need is to get better at noticing the simple, overlooked gifts sitting quietly in front of us. If this gave you something to think about, do me a favor. Drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. And of course, hit that subscribe button. Not because you have to, but because every now and then, we all need a reminder that health is not always where the headlines say it is. Thanks for spending this time with me. Stay curious, stay kind, I'll see you in the next one.